Hello, welcome to BMW Sports Car, and today we're going to talk about the E92 M3 LCI taillight conversion. Now, if you don't know what LCI means, it stands for Life Cycle Impulse, and basically that's what BMW terms internally is when they refresh the car within the model year after a couple years after the model launches. So in this case, for the E92 M3, it was sold in the US in 2008, and they were pretty quick with the LCI. Actually came the next year over 2009. And the big changes with the LCI from the pre-LCI is that the taillights on the E92 has been updated, and it had updated iDrive as well. Those were two of the biggest aspects of the changes for the E92. Now, if you don't know what it looks like, this is what a back end looks like. With the on the right hand side you'll see the pre-LCI taillights, and then on the left side is the new LCI taillights for the E92. You've probably seen a lot of videos about this. What I'm going to do differently is talk about the actual conversion. How do you convert it? So what do you need? First things, you need to buy LCI taillights, and now it's because it's pretty much almost 10 years since it first came out. There's a lot of places to buy it, and the costs have been cheaper. There's probably two ways you could actually get it. Three ways. You could buy the OEM taillights from BMW, which will be the most expensive choice, but if you want to keep it OEM, that's great. Your second choice is to buy them like a third-party version like Depot, which is a big manufacturer of taillights. And the third is what I actually ended up doing was I found a dismantler in my neighborhood who had actual OEM taillights, the LCI taillights, but it was cheaper, and because I wanted to keep it LCI, I bought those. So now if you go back to the pictures of the LCI taillights, to do the conversion, the first step is, as you see on each side, there's two types of taillights. There's actually the taillights themselves with the lights on the corner, and then there's the piece of lights that's within the trunk. The harder part is to do the one in the trunk. So what you do first is you lift up the trunk, and the main thing in the middle is the emergency handle. That you just have to make sure that is off its hook. And then what you need is a special tool. The tool is plastic. It's basically these plastic tools that you could buy. They're known as clip molding removal tools. You could buy on Amazon. There's actually a link on the bottom of this video, so you could, if you want to buy some yourself, that's fine. They're not that costly, but they are great to work with because basically they're plastic. You can remove a lot of parts from internally and externally on your car, and you won't damage the car because they're soft and they're not made of metal. So after the first part, you took off the handle. If you look in the trunk, there's 8 actual sort of these thumbtacks, for lack of a better word, and you must remove them. Besides these 8, there's actually 2 hidden ones in these sort of concave little extensions. I don't know what you call them, but basically you have to look there too. It took me a while to see those, so I took all 8 off, and it still wouldn't come off. But then I found these 2. And basically what you do, you take off this whole fabric piece, and then you'll see the taillights from the behind. There's the screws. You unscrew it, and you screw back on the new ones. And there's also like a, the light plugs. You could unhook it and hook it back. It's easy. You don't need any tools for it, and they're pretty self-explanatory when you see them. They're not hard to figure out. So that's the trunk taillights. The next part is the actual taillights themselves. What you do is go behind in the trunk, look behind. There's actually these hidden compartment doors. You open them up, and again, there's 3 screws to open up, unscrew the taillights, and then put the new ones on. Now the trick here though is you do need the special adapters for pre-LCI cars. Now this adapter you could buy at a lot of different places. I bought mine at Turner. They sell BMW parts and pieces. It was pretty inexpensive. It was $35, and they ship it in 2 days. So you buy that. You need this adapter to take in then the lights that is in the LCI lights to make sure it works with the wiring in your pre-LCI car. Now you're almost finished. You put everything back together and you're like, okay, I'm almost done. There's one more thing. As you see, there's actually an error code that comes up. Your lights actually, because the car knows that they're not made for the LCI lights, you do have to get it coded. Now, there's a couple of steps you could do this. You could, one, go to the dealership. Again, that's your more expensive choice, but they will have the coding to take it, take off that code message and make your lights work properly. Basically, your lights flicker faster than normal. Or go onto the BMW forums like M3 Post or BM forums, or find a local BMW shop, like a local mechanic, and they should have the laptop and software to do this. You pay them a couple bucks and they could do it. It's really simple. I paid this local guy who does it for all the BMW guys in my neighborhood. He charges $20. And basically, I saw him. He plugged his laptop with the software into my car with the OBD reader, and literally it took him like probably 5 to 10 minutes to get it done. So there you have it. This is the E92 M3 LCI conversion. It does make the car look a lot better. Here's a picture of actually a friend's car, same color as mine, and obviously it shows you what it looks like with a car that has the pre-LCI versus the new LCI, and it just makes the car look a whole lot better. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to us and follow us at bmwsportscar.com.